friends, it's Mary here, and we are back on the road, and nothing makes us happier than being back on the road. So we're actually staying at a campground that we've stayed at before, but I did not do a video when I was here before. It was sort of our YouTube days. So I wanted to do a video of today's campground. Now I want to start by telling you this is a military campground. I saw some interesting posts recently about that, so I just feel like I need to say that up front. This is a military campground. So if you are not an active duty, a reservist, a retiree of the United States Military Services, then this will not be a campground that you can stay at, because you must have access and military privileges in order to get on this base. But today we're going to take a look at the Wright Patterson Air Force Base family camp. So as I said, Wright Patterson, it's located in the Dayton, Ohio area. It's in a little suburb town of Dayton on sort of the east side of Dayton. It is a really, really big base. It's one of the big bases in this Midwestern area. And there's a lot of amenities on the base as well. One of them is the FamCamp, where we're staying just for one night. We're on our way north up to Lake Erie. I'll tell you about that one next. But anyway, we needed an overnight, and so this is where we're stopping. So I want to show you around the campground. Like I said, we have stayed here before. It's very nice, super easy to get to. So we'll talk about all that once I show you around the park. So let's take a look. Now here you're seeing the campground, and this is almost all of it. All right, so I'm standing at the very top, or the entrance to the campground, and you'll see over here to my right, there are back-in sites. Here in this middle section where we're parked for the night, which goes all the way down there, these are all pull-throughs and they are full hookups. Over here then, we also have back-in sites on this side, and as you can see over here, there are even another row of back-in sites there. There are about 50 some sites here in a relatively small area, but they do a really great job of having some grass between each of the campsites. Like I said, this is in the center section. It is full hookup. It's water, sewage, and electric. Some of the sites do not have sewage, so you'd want to make sure that you ask if that is a necessity for you. You can see that the sites are all paved. They are very level, very nice, and each site has these areas right here where it is sort of this patio area, a cement patio, that does include a really heavy-duty metal camping table or a picnic table. But I did want to let you know that because they offer you these cement patios, you are not allowed to use any kind of rugs, outdoor rugs, or anything of that nature. So you would only be able to use the patio that is provided. Now you can see that there are some nice trees around this area. In the center area, the trees are a little smaller like this one. They're not going to provide a lot of shade cover. Around the edge of the campground, there is a little bit more shade in that area. This campground is kind of a one-way in, one-way out. So you can come in this driveway over here, or you can come in this driveway over here. But either way, it's just going to be a big loop, and you're going to come around the other one when you leave. All right. So I'm going to walk up here. We're going to show you around the campground just a little bit. There is a very nice restroom and laundry facility up here that I want to show you. And I also wanted to make you aware of the fact that this particular campground does also have these cabins. So you can see between these two RVs right here are these cabins that you can rent, and they come at a really great price. So if you don't even have an RV, you could certainly stay here, again, if you are military. So let's take a walk up here and take a look at the restrooms. So this is the restroom area. It's all housed in one building. The women's is to the right, the men's is to the left, and dead center here, this is the laundry area, which we're gonna go in and take a look at. The bathrooms do offer showers, sinks, and toilets. So this is the laundry room, and like I said, this is in the center of that building. You have a women's restroom to your right, a men's to your left. There are 3 washers in this area, and there are 3 dryers. It is $2 to wash and $1.50 to dry. There is a little bit of area there to do some folding, as well as there's also some good information available to you about the base and the local area. So as I mentioned, these center sites are pull-throughs, which is great. But one thing I wanted to mention is the length of these sites. So on the pull-throughs, we had no problem whatsoever. Plenty of room for our RV and our truck to park there unhooked. But one of the rules they do have here is if your RV is long and it doesn't fit in your site, as well as your car too, then you have to park your car in what they call overflow parking, and that is located right over here. You can just barely see it beside that other RV back there. But you cannot park on the grass. You have to be able to fit into your site. Again, it was no problem with the pull through that we had. We had plenty of room. We did stay pretty close to the back of the edge of our site. But if you were in some of these other back-end sites, then if you had a long RV, you may or may not have room for your vehicle. Now, we always like to share some of the amenities at the campgrounds as well, or in the general area, and this is called Bass Lake. This is just a really short walk over from the campground. Basically, it's just walking through a parking lot. It's pretty close. And it's also where the office is, the MWR office, where you can rent boats, kayaks, things of that nature. And it's right here by Bass Lake. It's a beautiful little lake. There's a gorgeous breeze today, which is nice on a 90-degree Midwestern hot humidity day. But the other thing I wanted to bring to your attention is back here in this background. I'm going to zoom in on that. You can see we are on the back side of an active flight line. So that's a really large military plane coming in there. You can just see its wing up there by the top. I do want to make you aware of that because you will hear some air traffic, and these are typically bigger, heavier planes. So just be aware of the fact that that is going to be in your general area when you are here at the Wright Patterson FamCamp on Bass Lake. One other thing I do want to mention, when you're coming into the base, if you just do your GPS to Wright Patterson Air Force Base, and I think I actually did it to the visitor center, and that brings you right to the main gate. Super simple. It's just right off the interstate, so very easy to access. And once you come through that main gate, you're just going to follow those blue signs that are all over a military base. Follow the signs that say Bass Lake. Most of them will say Bass Lake and FamCamp, but even if they don't, you just follow the directions to Bass Lake. It's going to take you around the flight line, so you're actually going to be on the opposite side of the flight line that we're standing on now when you come in. It's going to bring you around at the end of the flight line. It's going to bring you right in through this area. You can just sort of see that white fence over there. It's going to bring you in that road, and then you will come on into the campground just following those signs to Bass Lake. And as you follow those signs to Bass Lake, it's actually going to turn you right in this area. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. It's going to bring you in that road right there. You're just going to come on up. It's just sort of this large circular driveway that comes around like this. You can come in this way. You can stop right there, actually. And this building that you see in the left of the screen, that is the office where you can check in. Once you are checked in, then you can go on around this road right here, and that will take you on over to the campground itself. Now, with water and electricity and sewage and flat paved sites are not a necessity for you, this campground can also accommodate tent camping or even sort of a boondocking approach. So I'm going to zoom in here in a minute so you can see. It's kind of a nice little shaded area where you can do tent camping, but there are tables available. There's even a fire pit over here that you can utilize. And as you can see to the left of my screen, there's even an RV who's staying here that's just kind of boondocking. So even if the campground is full with the amenity sites, they could probably accommodate you in this area too. So I'm just going to zoom in so you can see that a little better. And through the trees, you can see that is the main campground, but this is the area that can be utilized for tent camping. And there you can see down there, they do have several tent campers that are staying here. Now, because you are on sort of the back side of the base, and you're kind of protected over here behind the flight line, it is pretty quiet over here. Other than the occasional sound of a jet engine roaring up or landing, it's a pretty quiet little area out here. Signage to get here, like I said, really easy. And it's super easy to approach the base off of the interstate. A couple of other things that I wanted to mention to you. You're only about maybe a 10-minute drive over to the other side of the base where you can take advantage of all the amenities that the base has. They have a gas station, but keep in mind they only have gasoline. They do not have diesel fuel at that gas station. So if your tow vehicle or if your unit requires diesel, you will not be able to get that on post at the gas station, but you can fill up with gasoline. They have a Starbucks at the gas station. They have a Class 6 store. They have their PX or BX, sorry, sometimes I go between Army and Air Force bases, so it's a BX while I'm here. The BX is really big, so they have a regular BX that has clothing, shoes, that sort of thing. They have a completely separate building for furniture, outdoor types of things, sort of home and garden, if you will. So they also have a base theater. There's a bowling alley on base. There are just a lot of amenities on this base. It's a good size base. So, and a commissary, didn't mention that. So if there's any of that you want to sort of pull in, you can unhook, run up there. You can get everything you would possibly need for your stay while you're here or for any future travels that you may be having. Now, I did want to mention the cost. So it is currently $30 a night to stay here with the full hookup. We were told when we arrived that price is going up. It's going to be $35 starting in January of 2024. And they do offer, however, monthly rates. So if you're wanting someplace that you can stay for an entire month, they do give you a discounted price if you stay for a month. And the new monthly rate will be, I believe she said, $850 a month, which isn't bad for full amenities. So here we are. At a place we've been before, but that I haven't had the opportunity to share with you. Again, this is Wright Patterson Air Force Base, just outside of Dayton, Ohio, and we're staying at the FamCamp here. And we would really encourage you to check it out. The camp hosts are so friendly and so nice. They actually met us when we drove in, brought us right to our campsite. Just really awesome people here. And we only are staying for one night this trip, but believe me, it's a place that we pop in and out of regularly. So we encourage you to check out the FamCamp at Wright Patterson Air Force Base the next time you're in this area, if in fact you are military or have military access. And as always, we're Hendrick Home on the Highway, and we'll see you down the road.